Hello, my name is Annelies Scorer, and I will be presenting to you about the use of educational technology to support learning and the use of Miro boards. First of all, we will look at the rationale behind the use of digital technology to support learning and my choice of Miro board. I will then put this into a professional context as a new physiotherapy lecturer. We will then look at what Miro board is and how to use the different tools and functions available, followed by a discussion and analysis of its use and wider application. Across the higher education sector, there has been a shift towards blended learning with a combination of face-to-face and online content. This transition has been largely accelerated by the COVID-19 pandemic, which required a drastic shift from face-to-face classes to online learning to enable educators to ensure the continuity of learning for all higher education students. Digital technology enables asynchronous teaching and learning, facilitating increased accessibility. Content is expected to be hosted on VLE, virtual learning environments, for example, Canvas. Assignments and assessment feedback is also often via these VLE. The greatest assumption with this trend is that all teachers and students will willingly become literate and confident in the use of these technologies. But this may be a huge challenge for many, with considerable time required mastering these new skills in order to ensure successful implementation. However, many studies have shown that digital delivery strategies yield equivalent outcomes to traditional strategies in health professions education. Ortega et al. In their systematic review, although of a limited number of studies, suggest better outcomes are achieved when work-based experience is supplemented with online learning, and that in general, digital strategies were found to be at least as effective as traditional strategies. In a world where sustainability is key, increasing use of digital innovation is important and must be embraced as part of a wider effort to reduce the environmental impact of education. Physiotherapy is a highly practical course and specialty. We use a combination of traditional and more innovative pedagogies, but I didn't feel very confident in the use of digital technologies. I chose to investigate the use of Miro board as I hadn't used it before, but had seen it used in lessons. This required me to develop new skills and embrace something quite far out of my comfort zone. I have found practical sessions and group-based activities in the physio classroom often produce different learning experiences for different groups. The cohorts are quite diverse in their background. Learning often depends on group dynamics, prior knowledge and learning, and confidence in communication and touch. Miro board allows a repository of knowledge which can then be organized into a coherent and logical record of the information developed throughout a session for future reference. This aligns well with the Bloom's taxonomy framework. Knowledge was stated as the necessary precondition for putting all skills and abilities into practice. This basis can be used for developing the use of Miro board in the classroom in an EBL setting. An initial EBL session starts with a case scenario for which all current and required knowledge can then be identified and built upon. In their umbrella review, Ortega et al. Found the use of educational technology in PBL to be of benefit with equal or improved outcomes to more traditional delivery, but also acknowledged some concerns associated with digital delivery strategies, including limited training and support for educators. So what is a Miro board? It is an online collaborative whiteboarding platform. It is widely used in business for mapping processes, customer journey or experience, and SWOT analysis, to mention a few, but it is being adopted by the higher education sector as educational technology becomes increasingly important in curriculum delivery. The main difference with other whiteboarding technologies is that it is infinite and has greater functionality. It is accessible to all with a suitable laptop or tablet and free in its basic format. My aim initially was to use it in inquiry-based learning sessions using patient scenarios, developing knowledge and skills in respiratory assessment and management. Miro allows real-time collaboration where knowledge can be pooled, ideas and learning needs identified, and tasks set. Work between sessions is added to the board and can be viewed by all, so allows increased efficiency and preparedness for future sessions. So let's look at a board. On the left-hand side is the creation toolbar, where all the basic functions can be found. The easiest starting point is the addition of sticky notes, which can then be grouped and ordered. Control-D duplicates, and a line can be locked in to link information. If we zoom out, we see that team members can work collaboratively in different areas of the same board at the same time. They can use different functions such as lists, prose, drawings, or input videos and pictures from external sources, whichever best suits their learning style. If you go to the template icon, you can find hundreds of templates, which users may find assist in organising their knowledge and learning. They can be added anywhere on the board. Templates are grouped into categories such as building blocks, mapping and diagrams, workflows, brainstorming and ideation, and strategy and planning. Exploring these will quickly show which may be most appropriate for a given scenario. The title of the board should make it clear which module and sessions are situated on it, and to improve clarity, everyone should agree a key for colour coding and shapes in the first session. So in discussion, feedback from students suggests the positives of Miro board use to be: it's free and for basic access, it enables recording of wider discussion within the group to look back on, it promotes accountability for group members, as the work done is visible to all. There's a bit of peer pressure to do the work in time for the next session. It allows work to be done at a suitable time for individuals around their other commitments. It also promotes diversity and inclusion. An example would be that those who prefer not to speak up in discussions can add written or drawn content on, or that for those whom English is not their first language, or for those when written English is not their strong point, they can use pictures, diagrams, imported content instead. Different learning styles can be catered for in one place, and as a repository of knowledge, it can be updated and used longitudinally. It also facilitates asynchronous learning, so students unable to attend a session can still be part of the discussion. The things that they found might be a challenge would be that it's definitely easier to use on a bigger screen, so that's not always accessible to everyone. You have to pay for the full utility. It does require learning how to use a new technology. It can be challenging and it can be daunting for many students. So from a teacher's perspective, many of the positives are much the same as they are for students. But as a repository of knowledge, a teacher can make comments and corrections, facilitating learning of the correct knowledge. When it facilitates asynchronous learning, it also helps students and teachers to deliver a flipped classroom scenario. It can also be loaded to the VLE and built upon again for longitudinal learning and use in subsequent years. It's also possible that it allows some formative assessment. The things that might make it a challenge to use would be the same. Having a bigger screen is better, and it does require learning how to use a new technology. It's quite a challenge when you first start to use it. It's also totally inaccessible to screen reader users, and it has limited keyboard navigation. So this may be something to consider if you have any students with specific learning needs. So what may the wider applications be? As well as its use in problem or inquiry-based learning, it may also be used by students in any group work setting, using concepts such as project-based learning or nominal group technique to record group activity and learning. It could also be used within teaching teams for course or curriculum design and redesign, and for planning module content, aiding collaboration. As a platform, it's continually developing and updating, and it is very responsive to its users. The online tutorials it provides are quite lengthy, but are very informative and definitely help with improving your knowledge and user confidence. I felt, as a tool, it has huge potential to be used as a digital technology in higher education. And I hope that as I increase my confidence using it, I will be able to use it in different scenarios within my physiotherapy lecturing career. Thank you for listening. Please find my references on the next slide.